Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video presented by Red Badger Politics, and here I am to present to you the latest chaos that is currently happening in the RPW, which is the Republican Party of Wisconsin. So there's been a big divide in the state party for quite a while now, and not too long ago, a few weeks, like few months ago, and before this spring election that took place happened, there was purge to try to prevent third party candidates from third party groups like Turning Point Action, American for Prosperity, people who are not directly part of the party but are basically PACs. Well, to try to get out the vote and talk to people that are, So they basically declared war that people part of the party can't be a part of those. They're trying to basically get rid of those grassroots that basically can help us win. That's what they were trying to do instead of helping Brad Schimmel win. So they continue to move the needles, move the chains. That's the better word for that. They move the chains, and because they're planning to hold emergency meeting. This was reported from the Brown County GOP. Someone reported this that kind of works behind the scenes, has reported that the RPW is planning to hold an emergency meeting. And you would think that the meeting was going to be about what they can do, about how they can change so they can start winning elections, right? You would think that hopefully by now they finally figure it out. We need to change. You would think that's what the emergency would be, right? Well, no, that's not. It's actually the opposite of that, actually. And they just decided to add more damage to the party and declare even more war on basically the grassroots, and that's basically to try to make rules that makes it harder, figure out ways to make it easier to purge chairs for different counties that are basically not loyal to them, basically disloyalists. So, because each county has their own chair or their own county party, and you have a leader that generally leads the county on the party, and then you have the state party that runs usually they make the rules and they try to help assist the counties a little bit more on some of these things. Well, they're trying to make rules that would basically how they can try to purge some of those outsiders, the non-establishment types, and basically make rules to do that. Basically limit free speech in the party by people who not only report things about them outside the group, but also that try to directly challenge them. But again, so no, the GOP here has not learned a thing. And quite frankly, I don't think it's really about learning. It's more the fact that winning is not their priority, people. And the priority is always to keep their power. That's always the priority of the establishments, to keep their power. You see, and deep down, I do believe their ultimate goal really is to defeat MAGA still. MAGA is really what they've kind of declared war on. Really, especially since at least that's when they really went more open about it, is in 2020. And that's to defeat MAGA and MAGA candidates and anyone who's outside their control. They will not allow people they cannot control and that try to bring something new to the table. They do not want to change. So, yeah, it's a really unfortunate situation, and the problem is we have no leadership. For the people in Wisconsin have no leadership and no real representation. And the Wisconsin GOP has proven that they're not the party of the people either. But there's people who are fighting that are trying to make Wisconsin GOP the party of the people again. And right now, the establishment's scared. And this is why they're doing it now. Why are they suddenly doing that? That's because next month there's a convention. I think it's the May 16th and 17th. I believe at 4 p.m. there's going to be a convention. There's an annual convention every year. So for the 2025 year, there's a convention. I'll link the information about where it's at and the time and stuff. But I really encourage you all to consider going. Those who want to affect change, to go check it out and let your voice be heard. Because I think why they're coming up with this is because the thing is they're planning to do this in secret. If they really thought this was necessary, you'd think they at least be brave enough to do it in front of everybody. Well, no. Because they know the backlash they'd get, and they know they don't want the names of the people who are voting for this to be found out on who's actually voting on doing this. So they're trying to do it behind closed doors on top of that. I mean, that is corrupt. To go behind the doors, do it in secret so people can't know about it and don't know who's basically voting for these rules that they're trying to propose, is just corrupt. And this is what Congress does all the time. And they're trying to justify it by trying to have one good thing to justify banning 10 other bad things in the bill. So that's what they do. Just like Congress says you have to pass the bill before you can read it, right? That's what they're doing. It's ludicrous. So, but yeah, that's the info I thought I'd run by you. This is why I'm here, to inform. I believe the conservative grassroots, people who are conservative and care about the state, that want change, needs to know, who are considered Republican leaning, should know what your party's been doing and what they continue to do. So, but again, I encourage you all to get involved. I plan to get involved as soon as I have the time to get involved. I really want to get involved, even if I have to consider working full time in conservative politics or grassroots politics, whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm trying to figure out what I can do to be involved, because this needs to change, and we need to change, because Wisconsin's basically going down the drain. The worst part about the GOP is they had Wisconsin right in their hands, that they could have made the state red, and they just gave it away like they didn't want it, and it's just sad. But one other thing you should know, you want to know, why does the GOP seem to be allergic to winning? Why do they seem to purposely throw races? Well, here's the thing. Two things you should know. They would much rather lose to a good Republican and have a Democrat in charge, knowingly that at least the Democrat's not a threat to their power, because power is their priority over winning. And they also the people in the party get rich off of off Democrat policies. Because when Dems are in power and they have their bad policies, then they can fundraise and grift off how bad Dems are doing, and they make more money. They get their donors to send money, more money, and then when it actually comes down to it, they don't actually go out and play to win. And so, yeah, basically they get rich off losing because they make more money doing so. They benefit being the minority. I know you thought that sounds weird, right? Yeah. So, and deep down, they also don't need to. For them, since both the establishment both have the same donors, it doesn't really matter if they're in the majority or not, because their donors are getting what they want. Either way. So that's a problem, and that needs to change. So anyway, that's all I have for now. I thought I'd just inform you a quick update on what has been reported. This hasn't been official yet. There's a lot of people trying to fight this, But again, not many people know about it. We only got sound like we got a small insight of what's going on. But again, they really don't want people to know about this, which is why you hardly know about it, because it's been so secret. So anyway, that's all I have now. I will link the information about that convention if you want to try to attend to it, just in case you have that information at the bottom, so on the comment section. So again, have a good rest of your Sunday and a good week. And if you like this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Red Badger Politics out.